let's start with the divesting in police and investing in community programs. I disagree with that. We do need to invest in community programs. We do need to invest in mental health services for police and the people they arrest, right?
Yeah.
So, like, when I was talking with Ricky, that's pretty much what I came up with. We need to, one, identify the problem, which is that people are getting killed and police are not handling the situations well, right? Two, how do you fix that problem? Well, you make sure police have psych evaluation, make sure they're okay, and you make sure that the people they are going to arrest, one, survive, and two, can get the help they need, whether it be mental or whatever, right? So three, how do you get that? How do you achieve that goal? Well, the answer is going to be funding. And when it comes to anything, before you say you need to increase or decrease funding, you need to look at the balance sheet you got already. Right? And see where the money's going. So before you say we need to invest in the police or defund the police, let's take a look at the police departments and see what money is going where. Maybe you have, because I think New York was like $4 billion last year.
Yeah.
Like a couple of weeks ago. Maybe like, I don't know, 300 million is used in weapons, right? Like different, like militarizing the police, quote unquote, right? Or like 100 million is used in training and new recruits, and like 50,000 is used in new uniforms, and like $1 billion is used in new vehicles, right? So you're like, okay, maybe we can cut back from the vehicle budget and put that into, so you can have like a doctor or two who's always in the station, or a team of doctors who rotate 24 hours a day, always in the station, so that the cops and the prisoners or the arrestees can go and talk to this person if they need it.
I think it's different. Well, see, the whole point is if you're going to fund something, it's going to be, the whole point of that is so that this situation doesn't occur. So where he never gets his hand on a knife while he's having a particularly bad episode.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. Because, I mean, just in that situation, there's nothing you can do if that situation arises.
Yeah, so it sounds like Shutford was just like saying, hey, if we invested in a community, maybe not even we could have sent it, because I don't think any logical person would agree that a social worker should have showed up to this situation.
No, yeah, exactly. It
right?
wouldn't have helped.
But I think what he's trying to say is, maybe I'm putting words in his mouth, is that if we invested in community programs, the call wouldn't have happened to begin with. He would have been taken care of in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. He wouldn't have had access to the knife, or maybe he would have had access to medication or help that he really needed. So that's a larger societal issue than just saying the police messed this one up. Because I really don't think that they did.
I don't either. This one's very cut and dry for me. They did nothing wrong.
So it's like,
it could have been handled better.
I don't see how.
I think cops needed training and de-escalation. Like, the first thing they did when they got there was draw their guns. I think that's an issue.
Well, the guy had a knife.
I understand that, but at least try to de-escalate something. Like, try and wrestle the knife away. Like, you can, you can disarm somebody.
Okay, but what if two cops die trying to disarm him? Okay, so now you've got a dead cop, and now he's got a gun.
I'm not saying pulling the guns is the safest for the officers.
Yeah.
Right? But don't you want the safety of everybody?
Yeah, but if you call the police because this guy's got waving a knife around,
you're putting responsibility in their hands instead of handling it yourself.
Well, okay. I'm not saying you should even handle yourself. Is that situation shouldn't exist. You should have the outlets for that to not happen. But calling the police isn't the wrong move. That situation went as far as it should have gone. The police did, unfortunately, what sort of was going to happen anyway, because if it was anybody else less trained or whatever, we probably would have had more people dead.
Okay.
Because that's the kind of situation you call the police for.
Yes,
right?
Definitely. The knife was drawn. The guy has a weapon approaching people. Yeah, you call the police.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's kind of like, if they can't de-escalate it at that point, then the issue isn't the fact that they came, it's the fact that this issue occurred. And the police didn't have anything to do with the situation occurring.
Yeah.
Their presence...
They were responding.
Yeah, their presence is a byproduct of the situation.
So you don't think there's anything else they could have done?
No, I mean, the best way to solve the solution is for it to not happen. That's really the only preventive way. Because this is the thing. If that guy approached anybody with a knife, anybody could have done the exact same thing to him. Anybody could have disarmed him and stabbed him and been in the right.
Yeah.
It's sort of like you need to put in place things. Because maybe you could take money from, the police budget and put it into, a psychologist, something like that.
I agree with investing in psychological, but
that makes sense.
I don't see where the connection is to get that money from the police department.
Well, because if that helps prevent crimes in general from that happening, that makes sense. But I wouldn't say that's like the police department, because that's not the people you're going to want to go to do it, because that's not how they handle situations.
Yeah.
I'd want somebody else to be handling that with the concern that is more of, I don't have a gun, I'm just here to help you.
Yeah. See, I asked Ricky if he felt comfortable, like he himself, where it would be appropriate for him or a social worker to go to the situation. And he pretty much gave me a long answer saying, if they were trained in de-escalating, trained in defending themselves, trained in this and that, then yes. But I'm like, back in my mind, I'm thinking, like, so a cop. And the kind of training he had is just like a shrink mixed in with a cop.
Sort of. It's a very hard situation.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
That's what I'm saying. You can't really have... because you couldn't realistically have those people around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be ridiculously expensive. You want to charge something that actually helps everybody out in this area and prevents a situation from ever even occurring.